Okay, so recording has started. So we are going to discuss about the slug test in today's class. So pumping tests, they are typically expensive to conduct both in terms of like economy and in terms of time as well, because we have to construct the two wells in case of the this pumping test. One is the pumping well and other is the observation well. So obviously it will like cost us more to construct these two types of well in order to conduct the pumping test, and definitely it is taking like more time to conduct this pumping test. Now slug test, it has been used for several years. It is a cost effective and quick method because it will like involve less time. And coming to the cost, since we have to like construct a single well, that too of a very small diameter, so like the cost that is involved in conducting the slug test is comparatively less. Now it has gained even more popularity. First, because in obtaining the estimates of the hydraulic properties of contaminated aquifer where treating the pump water is not desirable or feasible. So generally what happens is, if we are like conducting this pumping test in some aquifer where the water in the aquifer is contaminated, so in that case, if like we are extracting some amount of water and then we have to like put back the water into the aquifer, so we have to treat the water. Let's say we have some arsenic contamination within this aquifer. So in that case, also this slug test method is like more like more popular, because we don't have to like take out the water from the aquifer. Now the second thing is, in the field investigations of low permeability materials, particularly for studies of potential waste storage or disposal sites, the materials at these sites, they may have a hydraulic conductivity that is too low for pump test. Okay, so let's say we have some we have to test the hydraulic conductivity of the material in some area which has like very less hydraulic conductivity. So in this case, the pumping test is not feasible. So what we do, we generally conduct the slug test. Now why are we considering, if the hydraulic conductivity is very low, then why are we considering the hydraulic properties in that aquifer? So like let's say we have to dispose some of the waste material. So if the hydraulic conductivity is very less, so the material that is like contaminants will not be transported within this aquifer to long distances, because the hydraulic conductivity is very less. So in that case also we use the slug test to determine the hydraulic properties of the aquifer. Now the slug test, it consists The test, it consists of measuring the recovery head in a well after a near instantaneous change in the head at that well. Okay, so like we have a well over here and we have a slug. Now this is the static water level that we have in our well. Now if we introduce this slug into the well, so this slug has some weight, so it will displace the volume, some volume of water which is equivalent to the weight of this slug. So the water level within this well, it will rise up to a certain limit. Let's say we call it as h naught. Okay, so the water level in this well will rise up to the height h naught. Now, after some time, this head will start to decline because the water will like try to maintain the hydraulic head with the surrounding aquifer. So this water level in the well will decline, and we will measure this change of head with respect to change of time. Now, what is a slug? It is a piece of stainless steel or PVC pipe which is filled with the sand and capped at both the ends. So what we generally use in conventional like slug, what we use stainless steel or a PVC pipe which is hollow, and then the sand is filled and it is being capped from both the ends. A solid object called slug, it is rapidly introduced into or removed from the well, causing a sudden change, increase or decrease in the water level in the well. So if we like introduce the slug into the well, so the water level will rise, or if we like suddenly remove the slug from the well, so जितना water इसने displace किया था, the water level in the well will decline. Now, this test can also be performed by introducing an equivalent volume of water into the well, or an equivalent volume of water can be removed from the well, causing the sudden change in the water level. So, this thing, like when we introduce some amount of water into the well, or we remove the water from the well, this is known as the Bale method, or this is known as the Baling test. Okay, wherein there is like some baler which is generally a glass rod. Okay, that is a hollow glass rod. So either we introduce some amount of volume of water into the aquifer, into the well, or we remove some volume of water from the well. So this is like the bailing test or the bail down method. Now, following the sudden change in the head, following the sudden change in the head, the water level, it returns to the static water level. So in both of these cases, okay, let's say we have this static water level and we have introduced the slug. So it will like return to its original. Or if we say we have this static water level and we have suddenly removed the slug, so it will try to rise to its original static water level. The head in the water returns to the static water level. While the water level is returning to the static water level, the head is measured as a function of time. So we will like measure, let's say we will measure every 2 seconds. So 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 8 seconds. So like every 2 seconds, we will measure how the head is changing within this well. And this like change of head with respect to the change of time, this is referred to as the response data. Now, this response data, it is used to determine the hydraulic properties of the aquifer using one of the several methods of analysis. So, we will be discussing about these different methods. So, depending on what the case is, we will take some method and then we will determine the hydraulic properties of the aquifer. Now, coming to this thing, so here, okay. Okay, so here I have a diagram of this slug test. So this black, you can say this black rod, it is a slug. And then we have a transducer. Transducer, basically what it does, it like measures the pressure and it converts this pressure into the electrical signals. That is recorded in this data logger that is kept on the surface. So this like change of the head will like have a different pressure changes on this transducer. So that is being recorded in the form of some electrical signal into this data logger that is kept at the surface. So this like transducer, it should be like submerged within the water in the well, and it should be kept below the static water level. Now, this slug test, it can also be performed pneumatically. Now, what does this means pneumatically? This method involves pressurizing the air column in a sealed well by injecting the compressed air or nitrogen gas to depress the water level by driving the water out of the well into the aquifer. So what we generally do in this, okay, it is not being erased. Okay, it is. Yeah. नहीं erase नहीं हो रहा है. Okay. So what we generally do, okay, since we are pressurizing this the water in the aquifer, so we are like having this compressor, so that will like inject the compressed air, or we can say we can use the nitrogen gas also. So like let's say we have the water level till here, so it is like exerting the pressure in this water column, and since it cannot escape because it is sealed, so this will like exert the pressure, and the water level in this well, it will move into the adjacent aquifer, and this level will decline. Now, this decline, how much will be this decline? So the water level continue to drop until the decrease in the pressure of the water. ठीक है, जब तक कि ये pressure कितना ना हो जाए is equal to the magnitude of increase of pressure of the head of the air column. ये इतना decline करे जब तक कि like this pressure, this is equivalent to the pressure exerted by this air over this water. Now, then the test is initiated by rapidly depressurizing the air column. तो पहले एक बारी क्या करेंगे, जब हम लोग प्रेशर एक्सर्ट कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद हम लोग चेंज इन टाइम विद चेंज इन हेड विद रिस्पेक्ट टू चेंज इन टाइम वी विल मेजर, और उसके बाद देर इज अ वॉल्व केप्ट ओवर हेयर. ठीक है, उस वॉल्व को हम लोग ओपन कर देंगे एंड दिस प्रेशराइज्ड एयर इज बीइंग रिलीज, एंड दिस वाटर लेवल इट विल मूव टू इट्स इनिशियल स्टैटिक condition. So उस केस में भी हम लोग change of head with respect to change of time we will measure this thing. Now here there is a diagram of this thing. So we have like pressure transducer over here, then we have airtight coupling which will like seal this well, and then we have air pressure transducer and we have this release valve. So after like we have exerted the pressure, and then it has like we will release this valve and the water level will recover to its initial static water level. Now, what are the advantages of this pneumatic approach? It is like no water is handled during the test since we are using the pressurized air. So we need not to insert any water into the aquifer or into the well or remove the water from that well. The second thing is test initiation. It is very rapid since like we are pressurizing and then we are depressurizing. So this whole test, it is like very quick and it is taking very less time. Only transducer and cable, they have to be cleaned prior to moving to the new well, because we know ki in this well, since we are not conducting any slug test, we are using only pressurized air, so we have to like introduce only transducer. So like if we have to move to another well to conduct this same test, so we just have to clean this transducer and we just have to clean this cable. And in the previous case हमें like slug को भी clean करना पड़ता था. Okay, now only transducer and cable, they need to be cleaned prior to moving to a new well. Both pressurization and depressurization, they are done rapidly with respect to the formation response. Then a pair of falling head in case like we are pressurizing, and in case of depressurizing, our head will rise back to its like initial level, and they can be performed, and we can like measure the change of the head with respect to change of the time in both the cases, in pressurization as well as in case of depressurization. Now, what is the disadvantage of this like pneumatic approaches? This pneumatic approach, it requires a special airtight wellhead apparatus. Okay, so we can use only this like specialized apparatus to conduct this pneumatic method or this air pressurizing method of conducting this test. Now, since in the previous classes we have read about unsteady flow or steady flow also. So what we have done, we have like taken out different values of drawdown. We have taken like values of discharge also. ठीक है, तो हमने ये सारी values निकाल के what we have done, we have like put these values into theme equation. ठीक है, into different equation to determine the hydraulic properties of the aquifer. So same thing we are also doing here. So we are measuring the head with respect to time. Now we will use this data that we have calculated in the field, and we will analyze this data to determine the hydraulic property of the aquifers. So there are different methods, but before like discussing with the different methods, we are going to discuss, there are like total 8 cases. So first we will discuss these different cases and what are the methods that are available for each case. Now, for like we have 8 cases, 4 cases are for unconfined aquifer and 4 cases they are for confined aquifer. Now the case one is for unconfined aquifer. The well, it should be partially or it could be fully penetrating well. Any of these can be there. Now, water level variations above the well screen. So this is like the well screen that we have, this dotted thing, this is the well screen that we have, and whatever variations they are occurring above this screen only. ठीक है, इसके नीचे कोई भी water level में variation नहीं आ रहा है. So in this thing you can see this is the static water level present and this is the water level in the well. So in this case, to like reach its equilibrium state, to reach its static water level, the water level in the well, it needs to be risen. So in this case we will use the rising head test in this case 1. Now what are the methods that we can use in this case 1, where we have unconfined aquifer, partially or fully penetrating well, and all these variations, they are occurring above the well screen. So the first method that we can use is Bower and Rice method, we have Dagan method, and we have KGS method. Now coming to this case 2, this is also a case of the unconfined aquifer. The well, it could be partially or it could be fully penetrating. Now water level, it drops below the top of the well screen. Okay, so in this case, इससे पहले क्या था, water level was above the well screen, but here in this case, the static water level is above the well screen, but the water level has dropped to the like below the top of the well screen. So in this case, to maintain this equilibrium condition and to reach the static water level, so this water level needs to be risen. So we have to like perform this rising head test over here. Now what are the methods that we can use in this case? We can use Bower and Rice method, and we can use Dagan method. Coming to the case 3, we have unconfined aquifer and we have partially or fully penetrating well. Now, water level variations above the well screen, falling head test. So you can see this water level variations in this case also, just like the case 1, the variations they are occurring above this well screen only. So we have this static water level over here, and this is the water level in the well. So in this case, to like reach its equilibrium position or to reach the static water level यहाँ पर क्या करेगा हमारा decline करेगा. So this is a falling head test. And what methods we can use? We can use Bower and Rice method, we can use Dagan method, and we can use KJ's method. So these are the three methods that we can use in this case 3. Okay, coming to this case 4, we have unconfined aquifer, partially or fully penetrating well. The well screen, it intersects the water table, and this is a falling head test. Now, what is the analysis? Let me explain this first. Okay, let's say this is the case 4. Here you can see, let's say we have this well screen and the static water level was intersecting this well screen. Okay, in all the previous 3 cases, जो भी हमारा static water level था वो हमेशा well screen के ऊपर ही था, but here यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, it is intersecting this water level. So in this case, this is the zone of aeration and this is the zone of saturation over here. Okay, so since this is the zone of saturation, or we can say this is a Vadose zone. So in this zone, all the pore spaces, they are completely filled up with water. And in this Vadose zone, we know that some of the pore spaces that are filled with air and some of the pore spaces they are filled up with water. So in this case, the hydraulic conductivity or the aquifer properties of this portion zone of aeration will be different from this zone of saturation. So here in this case, what will happen if we let's say we have risen the water level over here. अब उसके बाद we are conducting the falling head test. So in this case, since this is a well screen over here and it is like porous, so the water will enter into this zone of aeration. अब यहाँ पर क्या होगा, हमारा hydraulic conductivity ज़्यादा है because this is not completely saturated with water. So यहाँ पर we'll get a different hydraulic conductivity as compared to this zone of saturation. तो यहाँ पर हमारी hydraulic conductivity will get a higher hydraulic conductivity. So this is the same thing that is written over here. We have the analysis method would overestimate the hydraulic conductivity of the formation in this case because the water from the well, it will like drain both through the saturated portion of the well screen and into the Vadose zone. तो क्या होगा, दोनों ही zone में हमारा water is entering. So the drainage into the Vadose zone, it increases the rate of fall of the water because in this zone, the pore spaces, they are not completely saturated. So it will absorb water more quickly. So the hydraulic conductivity of this Vadose zone will be higher. So beyond that, caused by the drainage into the saturated, because here in this saturated zone, the pore spaces, they are completely filled up with water. So they will not absorb the water as quickly as the Vadose zone could absorb. So the hydraulic conductivity in the saturated zone is comparatively less as we compare the hydraulic conductivity in the zone of aeration. So this resulting in an overestimate of the hydraulic conductivity. So the hydraulic conductivity or the aquifer properties that we are getting over here, they are overestimated. Because here we are getting like the hydraulic conductivity which is higher, and here which is like this is the actual hydraulic conductivity that we want to determine. So this is like the case 4 that we have. Now coming to the case 5. So this case 5, 6, 7 and 8, these are the cases of the confined aquifer. So here they have like confined aquifer, fully penetrating well, and rising head test. Okay, so like the methods that we can use is Cooper, Bredhoff, Papadopoulos method, and we have Horsley method over here. So this is like the case 5. This is the case of the confined aquifer, and this is the piezometric level. So you can see we have like fully penetrating well that is running through the entire thickness of this confined aquifer. So this is the water level, and since to maintain this balance to reach the initial piezometric level, this water level needs to be risen. So we are conducting the rising head test over here in this case. So we have like these two methods that we can use in this case. Now coming to the case 6, we have confined aquifer, fully penetrating well and falling head test. So here also, in this case also, we have this fully penetrating well that is running through the entire thickness of this confined aquifer, and this is the initial piezometric level, and this is the level of the
Ma'am,
water within. Yes.
someone has asked a question. Please see the message.
Okay, okay. ओके सिंस केस फोर इफ यू कैन सी लेट मी सी हाँ सो यहाँ पर हमें अगर लाइक दे हैव लाइक गिवन दिस इज द फुली पेनिट्रेटिंग वेल एंड ऑल ऑफ दिस फॉलिंग हेड टेस्ट बट इफ यू सी क्या हमें इससे डिटरमाइन करके इफ यू नो कि हमारा ओवर एस्टिमेट हो रहा है सो वी आर नॉट गेटिंग लाइक द एक्चुअल like property that we want to determine. Okay, so there are no applicable, they have not given like any applicable method in this case because it will not be like valuable to conduct this type of test, isn't it? क्योंकि हमें एक्चुअल हाइड्रोलिक कंडक्टिविटी चाहिए, जो भी एक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी चाहिए, सो दैट इज नॉट, दैट इज वी आर नॉट गेटिंग इट, isn't it? Like they have given the case कि ऐसा भी एक केस अकर कर सकता है.
Like I mean, previous three cases, there are applicable methods like Bower and Rice and Dhawan and
हाँ.
KGS. So we
So
will not
in
use
this,
this in.
हाँ, we will not be able to determine ना. So like what is the point in doing this test if like any such case occurs? Okay. Now I think coming to this case 6, we have this like initial piezometric level and the head in the well is at a higher level. So like we have to do this falling head test. And here also in this case of confined aquifer, we have Cooper, Bedhoff, Papadopoulos method, and we have Horsley method. Now coming to this case 7 and case 8, so I have already told you कि इन दोनों cases में DK Todd book में they have given the falling head test. But if you see this case 8, so here the water level in this well, it is at a lower elevation. So it needs to be risen over here. So यहाँ पर according to me, it should be like rising head test. Okay. But in like DK Todd book, they have given a falling head test in both the cases. But here in this case, 7, we have the water level at a higher elevation in the confined aquifer, in the well of this confined aquifer. So in this case, the like to maintain its hydrostatic balance, to maintain this like initial piezometric level, so it has to be like we have to conduct the falling head test over here. So what are the methods that are applicable in these partially penetrating wells? So that is like Horsley method, confined extension of Dhagan method, KGS model, and Bower and Rice method. So these four are the methods that we can apply if like any case 7 and case 8 exist. So we can use any of these methods over here. Now here I have like summarized the major methods in both case of confined and in case of unconfined aquifer. So in case of confined aquifer, we can use two methods, that is Cooper, Bredehoft and Papadopoulos method, and in case and Horsley method. And in case of unconfined aquifer, we can use Bower and Rice, Dagan and KGS method. So in today's class, we will be like dealing about this confined aquifer only. Okay. So coming to the slug test for confined aquifer. So this is Cooper, Bredehoft, and Papadopoulos method. So this method, it is based upon a fully penetrating well. Okay. So this is the case that they have given. That is, we have case number 5 and case number 6, जहाँ पर हमारा क्या था, confined aquifer में and fully penetrating well was there. So a slug or a known volume of water, either we will like insert a slug or some known volume of water, it is introduced into a well over a short period of time for few seconds, causing the water to rise to a maximum height h naught above the initial water level. As the water level declines, the head above the original level. So here I have shown you this diagram. Let's say we have this initial static water level. We have introduced a slug into this well. So the water within this well, it will rise to some maximum height that we will consider as h naught. Now after some time, this head will start to decline because the water from this like well, it will enter into the aquifer in order to maintain this static water level, to maintain this equilibrium. Okay, so this water level will fall. So we will like measure, I have already told you कि different time पे we will measure द हेड, ठीक है, कि कितना हेड डिक्लाइन हो रहा है एट डिफरेंट टाइम, एंड वी विल लाइक रिकॉर्ड दैट डेटा. So as the water level decline, the head above the original, it is measured as a function of time. So a plot of ht, which is like head at different time, and h naught, which is the maximum head that it has risen, as a function of time, they can be developed with h by h naught on the arithmetic scale, and time with the log scale. So they will like plot. Now, there are certain assumptions that are being made in this method. First is the aquifer that we are considering. It should be homogeneous. The Darcy's law is valid. So that is the flow is Darcy. The instantaneous introduction of the slug. So there is like no time lag for the introduction of the slug. हमने instantly slug को introduce करवा दिया into the well. Now, hydrology boundary in the plane of the formation at large distance from the test well. Now, coming to the hydrological boundaries. So there are, let's say we have this well. So we are considering, let's say, hydrological boundary. One, it could be like river, which is like recharging this aquifer. So we are neglecting this thing कि ये बहुत ही large distance पे occur कर रही है from this test well, and there is no well loss that is occurring within the well. So this is basically like a recharge boundary, or we can say a constant head boundary, or we can say we can have a no flow boundary. We can like have a dike over here. Okay, so we are neglecting these things that they are not like they present, they are at some very large distance from the well, and there are no losses from the of the water from the well. Now this is the thing that I have already written. Cooper developed the following analytical solution. So what he did, Cooper has given this expression. This is change of head with respect to time to the maximum head that it has risen. It is a function of beta and alpha. So what are this beta and alpha? Beta is a dimensionless time parameter. So this beta is given by kr b into t divided by rc square. So this kr क्या है हमारा radial component है of the hydraulic conductivity. This b is the formation thickness. T is the time since the initial displacement of water in the well that has occurred, and RC is the radius of the casing. So this hydraulic conductivity into thickness, we can write this as transmissivity. So this like equation, it becomes T into T divided by RC square. Transmissivity into this time divided by radius of the casing per square. Now this alpha, it is a dimensionless storage parameter. So this alpha is given by RS square into a specific storage divided by RC square. So this RS is the effective radius of the well screen. So like in many cases, we can have the radius of the well screen different from the radius of the well casing. So in this case, we are taking RS as the effective radius of the well screen and RC as the effective radius of the well casing. Now this SS is the specific storage. Okay. Coming to this is the initial head within the aquifer before like starting of the slug test. Now what we have done, we have introduced a slug into this like aquifer, or we have introduced some known volume of water into the aquifer. So this has risen to certain like maximum level that is represented by h naught, and after like some time this head will start to decline. The water from this well, it will enter into the aquifer to maintain this static water level. So this head will decline, and we will record this decline of head with respect to a change in the time, and we will like record this whole data. Okay, I was explaining this thing ना, ये चीज मैंने explain नहीं किया था ना. Okay, okay, यहाँ से we will start. Today I had to like do the double hard work. Okay, it's completely fine. अच्छा हुआ कि याद दिला दिया, नहीं तो फिर otherwise पूरी क्लास हो जाती है and I would not have like paid attention to this. Okay, so this is a type curve given by Cooper, Bredhoff and Papadopoulos. इन्होंने एक already एक type curve आपको बना के दे दिया है, जिसमें इन्होंने like they have a tabular data जिसमें उन्होंने h by h naught की values और different t by rc square की values उन्होंने plot करके एक ideal curve हमें बना करके पहले से ही दे दिया है. Now these curves, they are representing different alpha values. So this is like 10 to the power of -1, 10 to the power of -2, 10 to the power of -3. These are like the different values that they have given over here. So अब हम लोग क्या करेंगे? We have like determined the head, ठीक है, विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम, एंड वी नो द ओरिजिनल हेड जहां तक वो मैक्सिमम हेड तक राइज किया था। तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, वाई एक्सिस पे उसका रेशियो प्लॉट कर लेंगे और एक्स एक्सिस पे हम लोग टाइम को प्लॉट कर लेंगे। सो लेट्स से वी हैव लाइक डेटा लाइक दिस ओवर हियर, ठीक है, इस डेटा, ओ शिट, ओके। अब हम लोग क्या करेंगे, जैसे हम लोग पहले भी मेथड्स में वी हैव डन दिस थिंग, वी विल लाइक मूव दिस थिंग ओवर दिस ऑलरेडी दिस टाइप कर्व। तो अब क्या होगा, वी विल सी कि कहाँ पर ये मैक्सिमम बहुत अच्छे से लाइक वेल फिट हो रहा है। लेट्स से इस कर्व पे ये आके, ओ गॉड, लेट्स से इस कर्व पे ये बेस्ट फिट हो रहा है, ठीक है, यहाँ पर ये बेस्ट फिट हो रहा है। So we have determined the value of alpha from this. So if we'll see about this curve, so it is 10 to the power of -2. ठीक है, यहां से हमें अल्फा की वैल्यू we have gotten over here. Okay. अब उसके बाद हम लोग क्या करते थे, इफ यू रिमेम्बर, हम लोग एक मैच पॉइंट निकालते थे, ठीक है, वी फाइंड आउट द मैच पॉइंट। अब इस केस में हम लोग क्या करेंगे, वी विल कंसीडर दिस लाइक बीटा, बीटा को हम लोग वेन कंसीडर कर लेंगे, जैसे हम लोग वेल फंक्शन में करते थे, वेल फंक्शन ऑफ यू एंड यू, 1/u, इसको हम लोग क्या करते थे, 1 रखते थे। तो यहाँ पर भी हम लोग क्या करेंगे, बीटा को वी विल कंसीडर 1, जिससे कि हमारा कैलकुलेशन ईजी हो जाए। सो लाइक इफ यू कंसीडर दिस बीटा एज 1, सो we will plot, let's say we have our graph like this, okay, so we have time and we have h by h naught over here। अब क्या करेंगे, we will like see this is the line for beta is equals to 1, so it will intersect at some point of this like t axis को, let's say it is intersecting at 3 second, so we will record this 3 second। हमें यहाँ से टाइम मिल गया, बीटा हमने ऑलरेडी 1 रखा था। अब बीटा की वैल्यू यू नो, दिस बीटा इज इक्वल्स टू tt by rc square, this is equals to 1, so we can write this tt is equals to rc square। रेडियस ऑफ केसिंग हमें पहले से ही पता है, टाइम हमने यहाँ से कैलकुलेट कर लिया है, सो कैन वी कैलकुलेट द ट्रांसमिसिविटी ऑफ द एक्वीफर। Okay. Now coming back to this alpha, do we know the value of alpha from the graph? Tell me. है ना, अल्फा की वैल्यू हमें पता है, हमें स्क्रीन का भी रेडियस पता है, हमें केसिंग का भी रेडियस पता है, तो हम यहाँ से स्पेसिफिक स्टोरेज निकाल सकते हैं। So this is like we have calculated the hydraulic properties of the aquifer from this graph. Okay, so हमें बेसिकली करना क्या है, वी ऑलरेडी हैव अ टाइप कर्व प्रेजेंट विद अस, हम लोग अपना बस जो भी हमारा फील्ड डेटा है वी विल प्लॉट इट एंड वी विल ओवरलाई इट ओवर द टाइप कर्व एंड वी विल लाइक फाइंड आउट द वैल्यू ऑफ अल्फा, जो हमारा बेस्ट फिट कर्व होगा उससे हम लोग ओवरलाई करके वी विल फाइंड आउट द अल्फा। then what we will do, we will consider beta is equals to 1, at that point we will like find out the match point, वहां पर हम t की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट कर लेंगे and we will put all of these things in our formula and we will get the values। so this is all the steps that I have explained you, ये सारा step I have written over here, so you people can read this like when you get the PDF। now
Ma'am, why will, hello ma'am,
yes,
ma'am, why will consider beta as 1?
actually what have you attended this well function वाली class?
Yes ma'am, I attended.
वहां पर भी मैंने आपसे बताया था ना, एक रैंडम मैच पॉइंट हम लोग कुछ भी ले सकते हैं। आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि यू कैन लाइक यू कैन टेक एनीथिंग, यू कैन टेक एनीथिंग, बट हम लोग ये क्यों कर रहे हैं, ताकि हमारी कैलकुलेशन इजी हो जाए। ठीक है, हमें टाइम कहीं पर भी तो निकालना ही है ना, डिफरेंट बीटा वैल्यू पे वी विल गेट डिफरेंट टाइम, दीज आर द बीटा वैल्यूज इफ यूल सी। यहाँ से अगर हम लोग मैच पॉइंट निकालेंगे अलग बीटा वैल्यू पे अलग अलग टाइम आएगा। सो इफ वी कंसिडर 1, तो यहाँ पर हमें लेट्स से वी विल गेट टाइम एज 3 सेकंड, यहाँ पर लेट्स से वी हैव 2 सेकंड, वी हैव 4 सेकंड। सो व्हाई आर वी दिस डूइंग दिस, जिससे हमारा बीटा क्या हो जाए, 1 हो जाए और हमारी कैलकुलेशन विल बिकम इजियर, जिससे हमारा टी टी इज इक्वल्स टू आर सी स्क्वायर ये हमारा 1 हो जाए। तो हम लोग इन दोनों को इक्वेट कर पाएंगे। यहाँ से आर सी हमें पता है, वी नो द टाइम वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड फ्रॉम बीटा इज इक्वल्स टू 1 एंड वी कैन फाइंड आउट दिस ट्रांसमिसिविटी। इज इट क्लियर नाउ? ओके, सो लाइक ये मैं आज एक्सप्लेन करूं और शुड आई एक्सप्लेन दिस ऑन मंडे, because now we all have done like the class 2 times, ठीक है, so like it was my mistake, definitely I forgot to switch on the recording। so you people tell, should we discuss this or should we discuss this in like Monday's class, because we have like 2 to 3 more methods left। Okay, next class, I know I know like it is like a bit more because क्योंकि काफी सारी नई चीजें हैं that you people are studying. Definitely you people will have to like remember these formulas. ठीक है, it is very easy, like write 4 to 5 times and you will like remember this forever. Okay, so I know like it is taken like more time today. ओके, थैंक यू टू द पर्सन किसने मुझे रिकॉल किया था कि रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन करने के लिए. थैंक यू सो मच. ओके ओके, एनी डाउट एनीवन? ओके रत्नु, थैंक यू सो मच रत्नु, आपने मुझे रिकॉल करवा दिया था रिकॉर्डिंग के लिए, अदरवाइज पूरी क्लास फिनिश हो जाती. और इसमें आई थिंक आप लोगों का भी लॉस होता है ना, because like if you people had to revise, so this class would not have been available to you people. Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining today's class. You people can leave the meeting now.